Today we're going to get you guys set up with Noodletools, which is a fantastic product with a terribly stupid name that we're going to use for organization of our project. We're going to use it for keeping track of our thesis, for taking notes, where we're going to have that as our note card source. And most importantly, this, if you use it properly, is going to save you hours when it comes time to make your bibliography. It is so important that you get this right now. You are literally going to save yourself hours later on working on your bibliography. To get started, you could either type noodletools.com right into the address bar or click on the link on Google Classroom. So it's going to bring you to this page. We're going to go ahead and hit login right over here. And since the school district has purchased this for our use, we do not have to create an account. We should be able to just click on Google and take us right to the page that we're going to need. Okay.
If you are working in a group, pick one person in that group to do this next step first. So one person, one member of the group is going to set the project up.
Now from there, what we're going to be doing is we're going to create a new project. You see the green button over here, new project. We're going to click on new project and we're going to give it a project name, project title. And what we really want to do here is just name this something like our topic. We don't need the whole thesis. We don't want to just put NHD project because we're going to have a couple hundred of those. So it needs to be something that is particular to yours without being too wordy. So I just used my example here, Virginia in the Revolution. Fix it, in the Revolution. And once we've given it that topic name, that title name, again, it needs to be something that is reflective of what your project is about. Under citation style, we're going to go with Chicago style. And the deal is that I know you guys have used MLA in your English classes, but history people are into the Chicago style. We have had the coordinator of judges, who is a professor that works with Mrs. Jung, said, you know, if push comes to shove, the final determining factor between first place, second place, third place is they look at the bibliography. And for historians, the preferred way is Chicago. And I know you guys have spent more time working on MLA, but that's also preparing you for those of you who want to go to college, because each professor is going to have their own individual preference on which citation style you're going to use. Now, the easy thing for us is as long as we click Chicago style, Noodletools takes care of that for us. You're not going to have to change anything that you're doing. That's why it's so key that you use Noodletools. It will create your bibliography for you in the style that you need. And we're going to go ahead and click Advanced, because remember, one of the requirements for this project is that you're doing some kind of research that's off the beaten path. It's not just going to be websites and books and journal articles. You're going to have something like an interview, or something where you go and get a primary source in your hand. And so we're going to need all of those different citation styles available to us, even though you're probably not going to, you're obviously not going to use all 70, but you're going to use something that's off the beaten path. So we're going to go ahead and check Advanced for that. And then we go ahead and submit. So we've created our project.
Is to share the project with the inbox, so to connect it with your teachers. Individuals, if you're working by yourself, you're doing this, and group projects, we are going to add your group members here in a moment. But again, the person who is taking point on this needs to do this step right here. It says share with a project inbox. You're going to click on that, and then you're going to type your hour. You're going to type NHD, and in this case, I've got my practice one that we set up just for this. But you're going to type NHD and then your class hour, like first 1 ST, 2 ND for second, and it will pop up as, for whichever your hour is. And when you find that and it pops up, you're going to go ahead and click done. And so at that point, it has now been shared with your project inbox, which means it's hooked up with us as teachers. You need to do this in order to get a grade for this stuff. All right. We need to be able to see it. Now, at this point, if you are in a group, the next step, individuals, you're done with this part anyway. If you're in a group, you're going to click right here where it says add students, and you're going to enter that person's email address. So if you start typing here in this box their email address, talk to one another, get their email address, and you're going to click on them as they come up, and you want them to be a full collaborator. And if there's a third group member, you're going to add more until you have added all of your group members, and then you're going to click done. Okay, I don't want to overload you guys with too much stuff here, but there are 2 more things I want to show you, get you started on, and we'll add more to it later on. All right, so if I go into my project, what we want to do today is to have our thesis finished. And when you have your thesis finished, we're going to enter it into Noodletools. Especially for group members, this is really important to make sure that everybody's on the same page. If you change it, it's important that you update this. So you're going to click on that to click to edit, and then you're going to go ahead and type your thesis in here. Whatever you have worked out, once you've talked to us and have it all sorted out, it goes in here, and then if it changes, it's updated. Because we find that over time, as you research, and you might have to tweak your thesis, you need to keep updating it here. Okay, so everybody's on the same page. So you're going to enter your thesis there. The other thing that I just want to show you today is here for sources. As you're starting to find websites and information for your research, if you've got a website, if you've found information, we want to keep track of all of those things. There's nothing more painful than finding something that you can use for your project and then having to try and find it again because you have lost track of the website or whatever. So you're going to click New Source right here, and then you're going to choose what kind of information is it. At this point, with the research we've done, it's probably a website, and then you're going to pick what kind of website it is, and it's really pretty simple and straightforward about walking you through that. You'll put the URL, the address in there, and all of the information that you can fill out, and then you start creating your sources. So at this point, especially, we want to make sure that we have those URLs captured. Okay, if you've got that, we can figure out other stuff later on. Like I said, I don't want to overload you here on the first day with this, but we want to have our project set up. We want to have it shared with the teachers through the inbox. We want to make sure that all the group members are added, and we want to be working towards getting our thesis perfected. When we've got all of that, we start adding sources. Again, we'll come back to this. Don't freak out about this right now. We are going to add our sources here, and it's going to make it so much easier when it's finished. That you've got all your sources here, because it'll be able to produce your bibliography for you, and it is a huge part of your project. This is going to basically do it for you automatically. So we want to make sure that we capture all of our sources and put them in here in Noodletools. I cannot state this enough. Are you guys picking up the importance of this by how many times I've mentioned it. All right.